Hi, welcome to part 2 of the physics and scripting tutorial. If you haven't seen part 1, I recommend you go watch it. And if you have, we will now be setting up a script that will restart the ball once it is lost. So it would restart now. The first thing we're going to want to do is add a script, and we can do this by clicking the little plus button in the assets panel. We can name the script. And we can also edit it in an external tool to write the script itself. At this point, it would be advisable to save your project so that it gets a permanent place on a disk. And we will open this. So this is the script itself. You can see that it already comes with onStart and onUpdate functions. The onStart function is going to be called as soon as the script is initialized, and onUpdate will be called every frame. So the first thing we want to do is we want to find the ball itself. So I will create a variable for this ball, and on start, so as soon as it initializes, I will assign a value to the ball. And the way we do this is we get the root node, like so, and we get its child by name. The child's name is going to be ball. So right now, the script doesn't really do anything. So let's change this. Let's give it a simple log on start, for example. And let's just log the word start. When we go back, we will get a prompt to re-import. Here we can see that this was called. Carrying on, we want to remember if a face was visible in the previous frame. And this will also be one of the triggers to restart the ball. So let's make a variable for that as well. And we can also check this on start. The way we check this is we check for the is face visible function in the context. So this will return true if face is visible and false otherwise. So here, if we have a face that's visible, we're going to want to actually reset the ball. We're going to want to more specifically set its initial value. However, the face is invisible, we want to hide the ball, disable it completely. So how do we reset the ball? Well, we're going to write a function for this just now. We can set multiple versions of this, but the easiest way is to sort of check what the local position of the ball was here when we set this up. And I think we remember this was a little bit too far forward, so maybe something like this is good. And we can just set this value for the local position. So this will be the function to reset the ball, and as I've mentioned, we want to reset the ball or set its initial position here if the face is visible in the first frame. Now, what do we do for each and every frame? Well, if we have lost the face and the face is now found, so meaning if the face was not visible the previous frame but is visible now, we will also want to restart it. And if the face has become invisible, then we want to disable the ball, similar to this logic. Let's write that code. Here's the code that will cover those two scenarios. So if the face is visible now but wasn't visible the last frame, that means it has become visible. We need to restart the ball and enable it. If the face has become invisible, then we need to hide the ball, and if the face has been invisible and is still invisible, then the ball is already hidden, and if it is visible in both frames, then we don't need to do anything, obviously. The next thing we need to do is to remember for the next frame if the face was visible. Now we can save this and check if it works. So we will get the prompt to reload, and it restarts when the face is lost. Now we need to handle the case if the ball fell off the screen. So the way we do that is we will check the ball's Y position. Now there are multiple ways to do this. We can check for the ball's position on the screen, or we can have a little collider underneath. The easiest way to do this is to go back to your scene. Temporarily we can disable the script and we can make this ball static. The reason why we're going to do that is because I want to move it a little bit to see where it will become invisible or barely visible. So here it cannot be seen. This is Y. Around 22, 23, this is the edge of the screen. So we can simply use this local position value to restart the ball. I will now undo what I have done to the scene, including disabling the script. And I will just go. We can add this code here. We already have the ball, and we know its position for every frame. And this should do it. Once again, we can save, return to DeepAR Studio. So now the ball restarts if the face is lost and if the ball is lost. But if you watched part 1, you may remember that there is a component that will disable nodes if the face is lost. So let's see if we can maybe optimize this code a little bit. You can pause the video and see if you can figure this out for yourself here, or you can keep watching for a moment. And I will remove all of the code that enables or disables the ball. So this isn't going to work quite correctly in this use case anymore, I don't think. Yet. So the way we handled this in part 1 was we have placed this disable child nodes component on the paddle itself, because that was the object that was causing the issues. But if you read this, you can see that it will disable all of the child nodes and enable them when the face becomes visible again. So if we simply move this component from the paddle to the root of the scene with the same conditions, then our resetting will work correctly again, and our code will be neater.